Hello and welcome back to another video. Today we will be going over 15 interesting ancient Roman war strategies. But before we start, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so that you're notified when we next upload. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. Number 1. Legion formation. The Roman legion was the cornerstone of their military might. Each legion consisted of about 4,800 soldiers divided into 10 cohorts, with each cohort comprising 6 centuries of 80 men led by a centurion. The legion was highly flexible, with each unit capable of independent action but also able to combine for large-scale operations. This structure allowed for both strategic depth and tactical flexibility, enabling rapid response to battlefield developments. Number 2. Testudo, tortoise, formation. The testudo formation provided exceptional protection against projectiles. Soldiers would align their shields to cover the front, sides, and top of the formation, creating a shielded box. This formation was particularly effective during sieges, allowing troops to advance towards enemy fortifications under heavy fire. Despite its defensive strength, the testudo was slow-moving and vulnerable to flanking attacks if not properly supported. Number 3. Cavalry tactics. Although Roman infantry were the mainstay, cavalry played vital roles. The cavalry was used for scouting, skirmishing, and delivering decisive blows during battles. They often operated on the flanks of the main army, engaging enemy cavalry, disrupting formations, and pursuing fleeing troops. Roman cavalry was sometimes composed of allied or auxiliary units, bringing in specialized skills and tactics from different cultures. Number 4. Scorpio and ballista. These siege engines were critical in both offensive and defensive scenarios. The Scorpio, a small, powerful catapult, could shoot arrows with great force and accuracy. The ballista was larger and could launch heavy bolts or stones, devastating enemy formations and fortifications. Their use in battle allowed Romans to soften enemy defenses before a full assault and provided a tactical edge in sieges. Number 5. Double envelopment. Cannae. This tactic was masterfully used by Hannibal at Cannae, where he surrounded and annihilated a much larger Roman force. The Romans, learning from this devastating defeat, later adopted and refined similar tactics. The double envelopment involved luring the enemy into a trap, allowing their center to advance while the Roman flanks enveloped them, leading to encirclement and destruction of the enemy force. Number 6. Fortifications and camps. Roman military camps, castra, were meticulously planned and constructed at the end of each day's march. These camps were fortified with ditches, ramparts, and palisades, providing secure resting places for soldiers and protection against surprise attacks. The camps were laid out in a standard grid pattern, facilitating rapid deployment and movement within the camp. This practice ensured that Roman legions could operate effectively even in hostile territories. Number 7. Decimation. As a brutal disciplinary tactic, decimation was used to maintain strict military discipline. If a unit was found guilty of cowardice or mutiny, 1 in every 10 soldiers would be chosen by lot and executed by their comrades. This harsh punishment served as a powerful deterrent against insubordination and ensured that fear of internal consequences was as strong as fear of the enemy. Number 8. Wedge formation. The wedge formation was used to break through enemy lines. Soldiers would form a V-shaped wedge with the point directed at the enemy, concentrating their force to create a breach. This tactic was especially effective against less disciplined or tightly packed enemy formations, allowing the Romans to exploit weaknesses and create chaos in enemy ranks. Number 9. Lines and reserves. Roman tactics often involved multiple lines of soldiers, with the first line engaging the enemy while the second and third lines remained in reserve. If the first line grew tired or was pushed back, fresh troops from the reserves would rotate in, maintaining pressure on the enemy. This system ensured sustained combat effectiveness and allowed for tactical flexibility, as reserves could be deployed to exploit weaknesses or respond to threats. Number 10. Pilum. Javelin. The pilum was a heavy javelin designed to disrupt enemy formations before close combat. Roman soldiers carried 2 pila, which were thrown at the enemy just before engaging with the gladius. The pilum's design caused it to bend upon impact, preventing the enemy from throwing it back and making it difficult to remove from shields or bodies. This tactic disrupted enemy ranks and weakened their defenses before the Romans closed in for hand-to-hand combat. Number 11. Gladius, short sword. The gladius was a short, double-edged sword ideal for thrusting in close combat. Roman soldiers were trained to use the gladius to stab rather than slash, as thrusting attacks were more lethal and could penetrate enemy armor. The gladius was complemented by the large scutum, shield, allowing soldiers to form tight, protective formations while delivering precise, deadly strikes. Number 12. Flexible command structure. Roman military command was highly adaptable. While overall strategy was directed by senior commanders, lower-ranking officers, centurions, had the authority to make tactical decisions on the ground. This decentralized command structure allowed for quick responses to changing battlefield conditions and ensured that the Roman army could adapt to unforeseen challenges and opportunities. Number 13. Use of auxiliaries. The Roman army incorporated soldiers from allied or conquered territories, known as auxiliaries, to supplement their forces. Auxiliaries brought specialized skills, such as archery, slinging, or cavalry, which complemented the strengths of the Roman legions. This integration of diverse troops allowed the Romans to field a more versatile and capable army, enhancing their effectiveness in various combat scenarios. Number 14. Psychological warfare. The Romans used psychological tactics to demoralize and intimidate their enemies. Displays of discipline, such as synchronized marches and elaborate camp constructions, showcased their military prowess. Brutal reprisals against rebels and traitors served as warnings to others. By projecting an image of invincibility and ruthlessness, the Romans often compelled enemies to surrender or flee without a fight. Number 15. Naval tactics. In naval warfare, the Romans innovated with the corvus, a boarding device that transformed naval battles into infantry engagements. The corvus was a hinged bridge with a spike that could be dropped onto an enemy ship, allowing Roman soldiers to board and capture it. This tactic neutralized the superior maneuverability of enemy ships and played to the Romans' strengths in hand-to-hand combat, securing their dominance at sea. And that's it for today. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe and turn on that notification bell so that you're notified when we next upload. See you next time.